Chief Obideekae resisted at first, when his son told him of his intention to marry Amarachi. "She's from a cursed family," he warned. "Her father died with my name in his mouth." But Chike insisted. "She's the woman I love." The wedding came quickly. Chike wanted something small, but his father, Chief Obideekae, demanded grandeur. The ceremony glittered with gold, music, and laughter. Guests praised the chief's generosity, calling it a blessing from a powerful house. Only Amarachi knew the truth: she wasn't marrying into blessing. She was marrying into payback. She walked down the aisle in white lace, her smile gentle, her soul trembling. When she reached the altar, she glanced at Chief Obideekae sitting in the front row, pride glowing on his face. Their eyes met for a brief second. He didn't remember she was there the day he humiliated her father in the market. But she remembered everything. After the wedding, life in the mansion felt like living in a gold cage. Marble floors. Air-conditioned rooms. Expensive silence. The chief rarely spoke to her, but when he did, it was always with a trace of condescension, the same tone he used on her father. "Your husband made a good choice for upgrading your life," he said one night at dinner, his voice cold. "You're a simple girl. Don't let this life confuse you." Amarachi smiled faintly. "I won't, Papa." But her thoughts whispered, "I'm here to end your peace, not to enjoy it." Weeks turned into months. Amarachi played her role perfectly: a gentle wife, obedient daughter-in-law, loyal companion. But in silence, she watched. She learned how Chief Obideekae ran his businesses, cutting corners, bribing officials, ruining small traders like her father once was. He never kept written records in his office, only digital ones on his personal computer, which stayed locked in his study. And then came the day the mansion's security lights failed. The house was dark. Everyone was asleep. Amarachi slipped quietly into the chief's office, her heart thudding. Her fingers trembled as she inserted a flash drive, copying everything she found. Documents. Account numbers. Secret transactions. By dawn, she had in her possession what could destroy the Obideekae name forever. 2 weeks later, the scandal began. A government audit. Newspapers. Accusations. Chief Obideekae's companies were frozen. Partners withdrew. He was summoned by investigators. The mansion, once full of laughter, turned into a courtroom of whispers. Chike was devastated. He came home one night, face pale. "Someone leaked my father's files," he said. "He's losing everything. They are saying it's an inside job." Amarachi stayed silent. She held him as he wept, guilt burning her chest like fire. Days later, Chief Obideekae collapsed in his study. The doctor called it stress. Amarachi called it fate. But as she stood outside the hospital, watching her husband cry for his father, a thought cut through her mind like a blade. "He's not the one who hurt you, but he's the one paying for it." That night, as she lay beside her husband, she couldn't sleep. Her revenge was complete. But her peace was gone. The mansion grew quiet after Chief Obideekae's death. No drums. No laughter. Only the hum of ceiling fans and the sound of grief that refused to leave. Chike sat for hours in the living room, holding his father's framed photo. "He wasn't perfect," he whispered, "but he didn't deserve this shame." Amarachi said nothing. She only rubbed his shoulder gently, her face calm, but her heart was breaking. Each time she looked at him, she saw her father. The same pain. The same confusion. And the same tears. One evening, she went to the riverbank behind the estate, the place where she used to pray before her father died. She knelt, her hands trembling. "God," she whispered, "I thought revenge would heal me. But it only built another grave, one inside me." Tears fell freely. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to cry for everyone, her father, her husband, and herself. That night, as she returned home, she overheard Chike's mother speaking to a friend on the phone. The auditors say someone used a USB drive inside the house, the woman said quietly. Only one person had access to that room. Amarachi froze in the hallway. Her blood ran cold. The next morning, Chiki confronted her. His voice was calm but heavy, like rain before thunder. Amarachi, he said, my father's files were leaked from his office. You were the only one who entered that room that night. Tell me I'm wrong. Her lips trembled. For the first time, she couldn't meet his eyes. Chiki, she began, her voice shaking. Your father, he destroyed my family. He humiliated my father before the whole town. He took everything from us. Chiki took a step back. So you married me to destroy mine. I married you to end the curse your father started, she cried. I wanted justice. Silence fell between them, long and heavy. Then Chiki said softly, you didn't give justice. You gave pain to someone who loved you. He walked away, leaving her standing in the doorway, her heart cracking open. That night, Amarachi slept on the floor beside their bed. By morning, he was gone. The driver said he had gone to Lagos, no word of return. For the first time since she was 18, Amarachi was truly alone. Not with anger. Not with victory. Just silence. Weeks passed. The mansion that once glittered now felt like a tomb. Servants left. Business partners withdrew. Newspapers stopped writing about the scandal. Life moved on, except for Amarachi. She sold her jewelry, gave the money to her husband's mother, and left quietly one morning. No note. No goodbye. She returned to Alaoma, the same small town where everything had begun. She reopened her father's old tailoring shed, repaired the broken roof, and started sewing again. People gossiped. Isn't that the woman who married the Obideekaes? What's she doing back here? She ignored them. She no longer lived for their approval. One afternoon, as she was stitching clothes for a wedding, a car stopped outside. Her hands froze when she heard the voice. Still the best tailor in town, he said softly. It was Chiki. He looked tired but peaceful, the anger gone from his face. He stood there for a moment, watching her, before saying quietly, I found the truth. The audit report showed my father really did destroy your father's life. I understand now why you hated him. But you should have trusted me to make it right. Tears filled her eyes. I thought I was strong. But revenge makes you blind. I became the same monster I hated. He stepped closer, his voice gentle. Maybe pain made you blind, but love can still open your eyes. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The air between them was full of old wounds and new chances. Finally, she whispered, Can you forgive me? He sighed deeply. I already did. Because somewhere in your anger, you still loved me, and I still love you. Amarachi broke down, sobbing into his chest. He held her, not as a man saving a wife, but as a heart finding its way back home. Months later, they opened a small tailoring school together, named the House of New Beginnings. It trained widows, single mothers, and girls who had lost hope. When villagers asked how it started, Amarachi would smile faintly and say, Sometimes, pain is just a seed. When it breaks, something better can grow. And every evening, as the sunset painted Alaoma gold, she would look at her husband and whisper, Papa, I found peace, not through revenge, but through forgiveness. Moral of the story. Revenge can rebuild nothing, it only burns what's left. True strength is not in returning pain, but in turning pain into purpose. If this story touched your heart, follow for more true African folktales. Where every wound carries a lesson, and every ending births a new beginning.